So yeah, with Holopoint in particular, you kind of have to go back to before Holopoint, to the development of it, to really understand what makes it so good in this area of not getting people sick. Because when I was getting into VR development, everything was really new. There was no documentation that told you, don't do this, don't do that, that will make you sick. There was no guide for that. And so I made a kind of a short project called South Steel, which was a minecart shoot 'em up game where you kind of rode around a tunnel and you were shooting and you were using actually the light from the gun that was kind of flashing to be able to see what you were shooting at. And that threw a lot of red flags for your brain. It made you really sick. So what I did was basically took a list of everything that was wrong with that game, from motion that is just whizzing past your head. You're not, like, there's no counterbalance. You don't feel the ground actually moving. Your brain just sees it, and there's a disconnect there. Things like that. I wrote all that down on a piece of paper and started Holopoint, which is the complete opposite. So instead of moving the player around randomly, the player has to be able to walk around their own space. Instead of making things float into the player's hands, the player actually goes in, picks something up, they pull an arrow from behind their back. Everything is very intuitive and natural. And so those are kind of programmed into Holopoint out of the errors of South Steel. The things that we found to be wrong with that game is what made Holopoint so good. And so one of the key things in Holopoint is that it's the feel of the game that's important. That's really what the game is about. And it's not the visuals. If you turn up the visuals, you'll lose frame rate here, you'll get some drop frames. You turn on reprojection to try to fix it, and it just doesn't really work out. But if you go based off of the actual feel of the game, then you can make something that just works, and people don't get sick. If you look at the reviews for it, people will comment about how it feels like you're in a movie and you're whizzing around shooting stuff, and it's awesome, rather than saying this has fancy visuals.